Hey everyone, so I just got back from a trip to Prague. I went to visit my brother. I stayed there for about a week, some sightseeing, whatever, but really what I was interested in was to go and check some of these record shops that they have around Prague. So I got down to dig in. I didn't take much money, but I did bring a couple of vinyls from Prague. Really beautiful city to visit, walk around the city center and just see what I could find, if there were any record shops or any shops that would sell like old instruments or anything that makes sound. Really, I'm interested in that. So one of the things really I'm trying to do nowadays is to actually find records that aren't just like 10p or 20p or something like that, really cheap vinyls for 50 cents or stuff like that. I mean, I never put those on the side, but I'd rather spend a few bucks on it and get something that I like to listen to instead of getting a bunch of trash that I'm not going to do anything with it. It just takes up space. So I went to the first record shop. I got these two vinyls from it, Sammy Davis and Count Basie. Really cool, man. My type of music that I like to listen to. Old classics, jazz classics. Not many samples, but again, nice to listen to, and it's something I can play when I'm chilling with my friends, having a couple of beers at home. The man in the shop was kind enough to let me listen to these records. Some record shops will ask you to pay to listen to the vinyls. Stay away from those. I don't see the point of asking you money just to listen to records. So Sammy Davis and Count Basie, just old classics with some really nice chops, and I made a beat out of that. I was listening to this one, and this isn't the type of record that you go in and dig for. Honky Tonk. This record, and you're probably going to be like, nah, I'm not going to take it. And that was my first instinct, and I should have gone with my instinct. There's literally, you can always do something with the things that are inside a record. Everything kind of works, but the question is it, even though it works, do the chops work good enough to make you a good beat? And in the end, it didn't. So the chops inside this record for me, were useless. Probably someone would make some cool stuff out of it, but it's kind of a bluesy, and that's why I took it, because I like the sounds inside this. And I went to another shop, which is this one, and the guy was pretty cool. I'm not advertising or anything. He didn't give me money to advertise or anything, but he was a cool dude, and he did help me out to find a record. This is the record, and it has no drums in it, and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for jazz records from Prague, so this is a jazz band from Prague. So I spent a little bit more money on these records, but I'm happy with them, and they're going to go into my collection. There's just so many samples inside this. So this is the best record I got from the Czech Republic, and this is what I did with it. I'm not even close to finishing with these chops. I have an idea which I think is gonna end up really good once I finish the whole beat. I take some time with my beats, and I don't just make a beat in a day. They usually take a long time because I like to go back to them, leave them on the side, go back to them, and then see if I find other chops that work with it. Go into my library of samples, find more chops that work along with the beats I'm making. So all this takes a long time, but I don't really care too much about that because I have so many beats on the side that some get finished, others are still in the works. So there's always work in progress, so I don't really mind leaving beats on the side and coming back to them. I'm not in a rush to finish beats, I should say. The vinyl has so many chops inside it. I filled all the banks with it. It's such a cool vinyl. It has so much inside it. It's on Patreon, you know. If you're still not on my Patreon, and if you want chops, if you want samples like these, I put stuff out to Patreon quite a lot. This is on there as well. This is my city. This is the skate park where I come to skate. I'm gonna do a bit of skating in a bit, but now I want to show you the last record. And this record, I was actually looking for it. Not that it's hard to find, but this was when I got back from Prague. I went digging here in Portugal in a city called Viana do Castelo. This is Switched On Bach. And there's a story behind the vinyl. The guy that made this is actually a girl. He's a transgender. This was around '68 when synthesizers weren't popular at all, but this record kind of broke through the industry, and it sold around 500,000 copies, and it kind of made synthesizers popular. So this record has a beautiful history behind it. And there's also, this is also related to the Acoustic Engineering Society, also has some history behind this record. So if you see there's a Moog in the back there, or a Moog as you say in the United States. And Wendy Carlos, which is the person behind the record, played pieces of Bach but in a Moog. So I've sampled this in the past. I took it from YouTube, but I'm glad I found the vinyl. It kind of gives you a different texture, just sampling from vinyl, because you get those electronic sounds but with the crackles in the back. So it's really fun. And I did make some beats with it. I'm going to show you in a second. But yeah, I'm really happy to find it, and it will go well in my collection. Right, so Switched On Bach. You get cool stuff, and kind of reminds me of Eminem type of funny samples with funny beats. Yeah, so that's it. Great. I had a fun time in Prague. I got back with some really cool vinyls as well. Everything went great. And now I'm going to do a bit of skating. And I hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, guys.